What's up, guys? This is Rise, and welcome to another video featuring a Shadow Crobat. This is actually the same team I showcased in my last video, but it's with a different lead because I've been seeing so many dang Obstagoon leads. All of you guys are leading Obstagoons, so I'm like, I'm just going to lead my Shadow Crobat and have some fun because it's a pretty comfortable lead. And with the Obstagoon in the lead, my Greedent and my Drapion are usually pretty good against whatever's in back. Usually can catch a Psychic type. So yeah, believe it or not, I went 20-5 yesterday in GBL through my 5 sets using primarily this team. I used this team for 4 out of those 5 sets. And who knows, if I had used it for all 5, maybe it would have been better than 20-5 because I went 3-2 with the other team I was using. But yeah, so Crobat. And a lot of people in the comments are going to ask why Crobat over Golbat. Isn't Golbat better? Yes, Golbat is probably better, but Crobat is cooler. I have a high rank one that goes to exactly 1500, and it's a Shadow, so I just have a lot of fun using it. And honestly, like, it's solid. It's not a bad Pokemon to use. It's a little bit glassy, so it's going to get outbulked by a lot of things, like a lot of meta things. I think it actually, like, in the Sims, it loses to Azu, but depending on how you play that, you can win that matchup. But yeah, Aqua Tail, my opponent caught it, but that's fine because I just do one Air Slash to take out the Obstagoon. He's going to throw a Poison Fang here. That's totally fine. I know I still have a fully healthy Greedent in back, the cute squirrel, and Obstagoon, or sorry, Drapion as well, my Dark type. But yeah, I take the Poison Fang. If you guys were watching me on stream, I just could not get enough of how cute this little squirrel is. Look at that animation where it waves his head back and forth. I'll wave my head back and forth. Greedent. Oh my gosh, this thing. It's one of my new favorites. I think it was Concentrate Queen, a fellow streamer, and she's popular on the Pogo Twitter community. She commented in chat like, I want someone to look at me the way Rise looks at his Greedent, which made me laugh because, like, oh my gosh, the Greedent is just so funny. All right, on to the next one. We've got 10 battles for you in this video, going against David. What's going on, David? Dugong, not a good lead. So we immediately swap into our Drapion, which is such a good safe swap. And look, they swap into a Beedrill, and I throw this so quickly, they're just like, all right, this has got to be an Aqua Tail. But nope, it's a Crunch, does some nice damage. I sneak in a Poison Sting. If they don't have like a Whiscash or like some sort of Steel type, Drapion is such a good safe swap, man. It's such a good safe swap. Especially now with Crunch getting that buff and it has a chance of debuffing. My opponent, they baited me the first time with X-Scissor. And then I correctly show the Drill Run, which is good. If I got baited again, that would have been pretty bad. He sneaks in a Poison Jab. And he takes the Aqua Tail. Then he actually switches aggressively. I'm going to get off this Crunch while I can to do some nice damage. And then I swap in my Greedent. I get the Defense Fell, which is really nice. And I just throw my Body Slam immediately because I know he's going to try and debuff me with Icy Wind. So I get this off right away, and I somehow sneak in a Bullet Seed, so he must have not thrown and then thrown right away. And yeah, I'm just going right for another one before he gets to another Icy Wind. Just not messing around, playing pretty straightforward, pretty aggressive. In comes a Haunter. And because it was only 3 Bullet Seeds, the residual energy, but from the other Body Slams, I actually get to this Crunch in 3 Bullet Seeds. My opponent doesn't shield. I expected the catch. I know they have a move, so this is kind of unnecessary, but I catch their move on Drapion. It's a Sludge Bomb. And yeah, just kind of a feel catch there. Could have just taken the Sludge Bomb and Air Slash down, but we're just having some fun. The person that I battled against here messaged me good game after the game, so good game to you. A rare situation where I actually win and someone messages me good game, because usually every time I lose I get messaged good game, but when I win I rarely get messaged good game. So we're going into the next one. This team has been a lot of fun for me. I've got a couple of new teams as well that I'll be showcasing you guys, but this one I've just had so much success with. Meganium lead, one of the best leads we could ask for. So try not to screw it up. In comes a Rapidash, and I throw here. Because he switched in, I threw exactly on 15 turns because I figured he probably wouldn't sneak one in after he switched in. I got the first shield, and as soon as I swapped, I'm like, oh crap, this thing has Drill Run. So I shield because I totally forgot about Drill Run for a split second. I'm going to have to commit 2 shields here. There's the Drill Run. But now I should be able to outpace this thing. Notice I'm throwing after 2 Poison Stings because that's 4 turns versus 5 turns. I get the shield, and I should be able to outpace it here before it gets to another move. So even though it might have not been like the best swap, it still worked out in the end. Drapion's still able to retain switch, which is all we really want, because if we can keep the Crobat on the Meganium, like, we're in a pretty good situation. Because Meganium, man, it gets walled by Crobat. It's all it can really do is Earthquake for damage, because that's only single resisted. And since Crobat's so glassy, like, Earthquake's still going to hurt. Expecting the immediate switch. In comes a Drapion. I'm like, uh-oh, okay. This is a little sketchy. Because this Drapion's going to have a slight energy head start. And our Bullet Seeds are not very effective. So, like, our fast move damage isn't really doing much at all. So all we can really do is spam Body Slams. Try and get as many off as we can. He sneaks in a Poison Sting, which is not good for us. Getting off another Body Slam. I'm trying to overfarm a little bit, just to maybe, if he gets a little bit reckless, I could get to another. But nope, he's playing it safe. Good on him. And then he crunches here. So I'm like, oh, maybe he's running Crunch Sludge, so he actually doesn't get to a move. And then I have a Poison Fang loaded for the Meganium. This is going to do a lot of damage. Super effective. Poison Fang, boom, takes it out. And we take the win. Yeah, pretty crazy. It must have been Crunch Sludge Bomb, because he definitely had at least an Aqua Tail, but he must have gotten KO'd like as he got to the Crunch. That was a very close game, because Crunch would have like nearly KO'd, probably barely not KO my Crobat. Actually, I forget how much health the Crobat. Maybe it was a little healthier than I remember. Nidoqueen. Good matchup, but because Nidoqueen, excuse me, is so OP with Poison Jab, Poison Fang, like, it can beat so many things in the 2-shield that it, like, shouldn't beat. I'm just going straight for a Shadow Ball here, so this guarantees I get shield or switch. Like, if they call a Poison Fang, and I'm able to catch a Poison Fang here, which is kind of nice, but we'll see what comes in. Like, if the Nidoqueen was to call a Poison Fang and survive it and then get off another, like, that puts me in a bad spot. But now I'm up a shield and I lured out the Fighter, which is great. Nice counting by our opponent. Man, my voice keeps breaking up. Nice counting. They Night Slash us, which is enough to take us out because we were debuffed. But yeah, definitely going to come in Crobat here. I sneak in an Air Slash, which is nice, and I am going to shield this because I have some residual energy. I know this energy could be useful. And he actually got the boost. Always the unnecessary boost. And I'm going for a Poison Fang here, hoping they think I have a Shadow Ball, hoping to get this shield. I do get the shield, which is great. An Avalanche is coming in. I'm going to shield. I'm trying to decide like what's going to do more damage, the Avalanche or something else. I knew he was going to catch, so I overfarm a little bit. And I throw a Body Slam here, a little bit less energy. It's going to let me get one Bullet Seed. And now I have a Crunch. He sneaks in a Powder Snow, unfortunately. I get off a Crunch. Boom. It doesn't do that much. I go for the Body Slam here because I wasn't sure if I'm going to get to the Crunch after this Avalanche. And the Avalanche actually, look how well Greedent takes an Avalanche. That's a hard-hitting move from an attack-weighted Pokemon. Body Slam barely doesn't KO, but one Bullet Seed does. So based off that health, it looks like I could have gotten to the Crunch. So good thing it wasn't, good thing the Body Slam plus the Bullet Seed was enough. Otherwise, that would have been Definitely a bad misplay, but we're able to sneak away with the win in that one. And it's on to the next one. Rise to occasion. That's me. Searching for the battle. Morigami. Morigami. Okay. Kanto Ninetales, so like pretty neutral matchup. And the weather balls are really going to hurt from this thing, so not the best matchup in the world for me. I tried to catch there, and for some reason it didn't let me catch, which is really weird, so I must have lagged a turn. Because like we have the same duration fast move, right? So there shouldn't be a situation where that happens, you know? But we swapped into the Drapion, and he swapped into a Ferrothorn, which is not bad for us. We get Thundered, which hurts. But we're resisting these Bullet Seeds, and we're just going to spam off Crunches. And we get to these Crunches really fast. It only takes 10 turns to get to the Crunch. So, yeah, that's pretty dang spammy. That's like the same amount of time it takes G-Fisk to get to a Rock Slide. I try and CMP tie him here on the Aqua Tail, because he was going up to the Thunder. And I take it out, which is great. And I have a little bit of extra energy. What's going to come in? Escavalier comes in. And I'm like thinking about if I should switch or not. And I'm thinking, no, I got to just let this go down. Also, I could have gotten to 2 Aqua Tails if I'd gone for that. So that would have been the better play. Moves coming through here. I'm not going to shield. And he Mega Horns, which I don't think is the right play, because Mega Horn is double resisted, and Drill Run would only be single resisted. The Ninetales swaps in. I swap in my Greedent. I'm taking this because I knew this wasn't enough for like an overheat or anything. I knew it was just a Weather Ball. And I'm just trying to sneak in an extra Bullet Seed if I can. Once I get to 2 Body Slams, then I throw, and we CMP tie here. Body Slam coming through. Is our opponent going to shield? Their Escavalier is also quite low. I know the switch clock is going to be coming up soon, so I'm doubling up on my Body Slams. Oh, I didn't actually double up. I threw 2 Bullet Seeds, and I get this off, which gets the last shield. Then I switch in, and look at this. We CMP tie. So this Escavalier is going to take me out. Now I need to live 2 counters because I'm 1 Bullet Seed away. And look at that. Greedent with 1 HP. Surviving and thriving. And taking out the Steel type. What a finish. Oh my gosh. Greedent needed all of those IVs to win that battle. What a match. And you see the 5-0 there. Man. What a crazy 5-0 that was to end it that way. We get a Seismitoad, the Forgotten Mud Boy, and we can fast forward to the start of our next battle. Going up against 777. I bet they love slot machines. 777, great lead against Ariados. And they swap in Empoleon, and this is where I realize, crap, I don't have a great answer for Empoleon. So I decided I was going to do some damage right away and then switch. I build up to Shadow Ball and I go for Poison Fang because I feel like they'd be really bold to not shield this since I build up the Shadow Ball. I do get a shield, and then I come in Greedent, which again is kind of questionable. But I thought Greedent at least can deal neutral fast move damage, you know, versus the Poison Stings don't do much from Drapion. I go for a Crunch. I'm getting lucky with fast move denials, which is good. Crunch almost KOs. They store their Empoleon. I don't believe the Empoleon had enough for a move, so they basically just are keeping their Empoleon around as a potential sack swap later on in the match. This Ariados goes for a lunge here. I come in with Crobat. I'm gonna let this go because I think I'll survive it. I do survive the lunge. And I get off this Poison Fang because I don't think I'm going to get to 2. And then I aggressive swap and actually get a Poison Sting head start, which is amazing. And there's a Froslass in back. And I know my opponent's going to try and catch with the Empoleon at some point. So I just keep farming. And then I have double Crunches. And hoping for a debuff. The opponent, yeah, they do the right thing. I think that's the right thing of letting the first one go, because you could get a debuff. But now I can just go straight Aqua Tail, so I'm not sure. Maybe shielding the first one is the right play, because then I have to go for a crunch. It didn't really matter, though. We had such an energy lead. And we still had a shield, so pretty comfortable position there. And we're on to the next one. By the way, anybody listening to the new Drake album? I like some of these new songs. Lots of good music out lately. I wish I could play that type of music in videos like this and we could jam out together. But we've got some pretty cool beats too. We got some pretty cool beats. Zelensky, the next opponent. Crobat versus Golbat. Brother versus brother. A true test. Oh my gosh. I think I remember how this game goes. Check this out. Boom. Catch. I'm hoping this is a Shadow Ball. Boom. Caught the Shadow Ball. Let's go. In comes Obstagoon. That's perfectly fine with me. We do not want our Greedent sing this Obstagoon, so I'm happy that it's out here right now. I'm going to get off a couple of Aqua Tails here. And we sneak in a Poison Sting. And I'm like, I might get to another Aqua Tail if he... and it's a Night Slash, so I definitely will get there. Oh, up, but he boosted. But I still get there. Let's go. And remember, I have a Poison Fang stored. So what I'm thinking here is I can click on my Poison Fang and force a shield since this Goon has so much energy. But check this out. We lag a turn. Crobat should definitely win CMP in this situation. But because we lagged a turn on when we came in, we actually lose CMP. And it wasn't a true CMP. It was a delayed CMP because we lagged. So Golbat comes back in. And check this out. I'm going for a Poison Fang. He has a lot of energy. I feel like he's going to be tempted to shield. He doesn't, though. So I switch. And we catch again. We catch again. And it's a Shadow Ball again. 2 catches on Shadow Balls in this game. And he's not switching, which makes me think, okay, he might be weak to this and back. Let's just try and get rid of Golbat. I know this is just going to be a Poison Fang. And if he stays in here, like the second one will do more. So I better let this first one go. Over farming as much as I can right before he gets to the Poison Fang. Body slam, and he shields. And I'm like, what on earth? He shielded? So I'm like, all right, I'm going to shield. Like, what else am I going to use my shield on? My Crobat's low as well. I snipe the Golbat with my Crobat. In comes a Greedent. And I technically should have just thrown the Poison Fang right away to do as much damage as possible with my Air Slashes. And, yeah, he does a nice overfarm there. But we do have residual energy on our Greedent, and this Greedent's debuffed. So this is double Body Slam range. So I'm just hoping he doesn't have a Body Slam right now. I think he does. But we get off both of our Body Slams. And I think our opponent didn't think that his move would have been enough to KO, which I don't think it would. I think it would have been just short. So he was building up to 2. He thought that was his win con. And we get the win. 2 Shadow Ball catches in one game. I was pretty proud of that one. We caught a Shadow Ball on our Dark type. Then we caught a Shadow Ball on our normal type for resisted and double resisted. So that was a fun one for sure. It looked like, yeah. It looked like we were in a tough spot a few times. Going against Peeled Peaches. Crobat versus Hypno. Terrible lead. But we swap into Drapion. And this is a situation where you might be thinking, Rise, why would you go Drapion? Isn't that your hard counter against Hypno and Green would be your soft counter? Yes, that's correct. But Drapion is just a lot safer than Greedent because if you swap Greedent and they swap a fighter, you're already in a pretty terrible position. Versus Drapion, there's just not a lot of hard counters to it. Whiscash is like the main hard counter that you'll see. So Drapion just a lot better at retaining switch. I get both shields, and at this point, I feel like this Ninetales has a lot of energy, and I'm not sure if they're only 1 away. So I'm actually just going to let my Drapion go. Because if they were only 1 Fire Spin away, But obviously they weren't, so I could have taken Switch. And then my opponent, they were off on their counts, but they tried to catch a move here. I Shadow Ball it. I store... And my opponent, they're over farming like crazy. They're not just throwing their moves when they have them. So we're going to get rid of this Dragalge. I think people just don't realize how spammy Greedent is. And I feel like I'm like, what else am I going to shield, right? So I just decided to shield this punch. Going for a crunch. And I'm feeling pretty good now. A crunch plus a body slam might be enough. But actually not quite. So I sneak in a move. Didn't actually sneak in. He just threw at the inopportune time. And gonna get off another crunch here. No reason to settle for the body slam. Bang, bang, boogie. We overcome the bad Hypno lead because he didn't have a great answer to a Drapion swap. He probably should have swapped in his Dragalge and not his Ninetales, but maybe he thought like I wasn't running Aqua Tail, and that's why. But still, I think Dragalge would have been the better swap for him. A shiny Alomomola. Here we go. We swap we swap Drapion and they swap the Alakazam. And I'm like, oh my gosh. Not a good swap. Boom. Bye-bye. Shiny Alakazam. And like we're already in a pretty good position. Unless there's something crazy in back that like beats my whole team. I guess if there was like a Registeel in back, I could still lose because Registeel does beat like this whole team. Someone asked what I do for like a Registeel and Melmetal team. Like, there's not a whole lot I can do. I probably lose that game. But, I mean, every team, right? Every team's going to have a team that hard counters it. But wow, Drapion putting in work. Gets the shield. Gets the shield from the Alomomola. We're going to respect the move here from the Alomomola, and we're going for body slams. This won't be enough to take it out, but it'll put it relatively low. In comes a normal cast form, and at this point, I'm just like, all right, I'm just going to stay in here because normal cast form, as most of you know, has access to Rock Weather Ball, which would be super effective against my Crobat. So at this point, I know I double resist these hexes. These hexes are going to do pretty much nothing to my Greedent. And I can just stay in here comfortably. Probably win this matchup, save a shield for Crobat. And we should be all good. He gets off a move here. I'm still not going to bother shielding because even an Energy Ball wouldn't KO me. And he actually gets the defense fell, which isn't great. I have 2 body slams though. So I just blind throw this. He catches, which is fine. Nice play by him. But our Crobat's still super healthy. So we can just swap it in. And air slash down. He gets to a move. I let it go because I know it won't KO me. And I'm just curious how much it does. Does a little over half. And Crobat seals the deal. This team cannot seem to lose right now. And look at that. 6,999 wins. We're going for 7,000. In the Great League, maybe? In Go Battle League Great League? Maybe that's what that is. Lantern, another bad lead. Instant swap into Drapion, as per usual. And they swap a Frost Slash. I'm telling you. Sometimes you swap in something with your teams and you're like, oh, I'm going to get hard countered. But Drapion, a lot of people don't have a hard answer for it. I'm going to shield this because it'll do a lot. And I want to maintain Switch. So now I overfarm just a little bit. Probably could have thrown 1 or 2 more Poison Stings there. But I Aqua Tail, take it out. In comes Mandibuzz. And this is tough. Mandibuzz is tough for this team. We don't have an obvious answer for it. Crobat can handle Mandibuzz when shields are up. And you can like shield and Poison Fang and outpace it. But yeah, when we're down a shield, this Mandibuzz is going to be really tricky for us to take out. We do already know that there's a Lantern, right? There's a Lantern. So at this point, I'm like, all right, this is... And I mess up there, and I thought I would live that Air Slash, but I didn't. So a big mistake there from me. Not getting off the Aqua Tail for some nice chip damage. Foul Play comes through. takes out a big chunk. He swaps in his Lantern, which I think is a mistake, because it's going to allow me to Poison Fang here and debuff it, and this should put it into like double Body Slam range. And here I'm just trying to think, all right, is he going to go for the Hydro? He does, so it would have been nice to shield that. I thought he might try and bait Thunderbolt, but I was wrong. And it makes sense, right? Normally people like to go for the big move when you're already down a shield because they don't think you'll shield, so it made sense why he went for Hydro. And at this point, I'm looking at how much these Bullet Seeds are doing, so I'm just going to completely farm this down and come out with almost 3 Body Slams. He sneaks in an invisible Air Slash there. You can kind of just tell. He sneaks in a visible Air Slash there. That one you could definitely tell. And then I switch. I come in with Crobat, and my opponent makes a mistake, and they didn't throw their energy quickly enough. They could have thrown one before, but they throw on CMP here. So I'm able to get off the Poison Fang. They Aerial Ace me, 1 Bullet C8, and I CMP tie here, if he had it. I'm not sure if he had another one already. But yeah, I think our opponent was thinking they needed 2. So they were like trying to go up to 2 as close as they could. And then they realized, oh no, I should have just thrown right away. So I think our opponent kind of got caught in no man's land. Like they should have either thrown right away or they should have committed to 2. And they got caught in between. Something we've all done, something I've done so many times. It's in those late game situations where it can be very hard. You have to react really quickly. But there is a 10-0 with this same team. I really recommend you guys try it. Let me know if it works for you in Remix Cup. I went 20-5 with this team the other day. And I'm going to be moving on to trying some new teams that I've been having some fun with. But overall, can't recommend this team enough. Ton of fun. All right. Hope you guys enjoyed this video. I'm going to try and get you a spicy Saturday as well this weekend. And if you did enjoy this content, make sure to leave a like and subscribe. All that said, thank you for watching, and I'll see you in the next one. Peace.